Welcome
On mute.
to the Still Trippin' Happy Hour. On the move tonight, we got Mason
What up?
and Hayes. Holla. Yes, sir.
Episode
doubt.
205.
Episode 205. Follow the stuff, click the algorithm, follow the carbs
Half
when
the
you click the
algorithm.
bottom shelf.
Amen. Amen. All right. Let's Hayes, tell us what we're going to talk about this episode and why we have so many topics flooding my inbox right now.
Yeah, man, listen. So number one, I mean, you guys are going to get sick of us talking about this. We're doing 75 hard. Mason and I are doing this together. But this is all related.
Hayes is the one talking about it.
But this is related. It's important to know how we got here. So, got sick on. I wasn't feeling good on Friday, and that carried over into the weekend. And Sunday was the worst. Like, I would say I had flu, except with throw up. Lots of throw up. So much throw up, and it was horrible, Mason. I'm telling you, I was on the verge of tears because Sunday, I mean, I tried. I had to decide that this is the day that I'm not going to be able to continue with 75 hard, or this is the day that I have to start over because there's no way I'm going to be able to work out. I was trying to get Logan to work. You know, he works real close to your house.
Mm-hmm.
And on the way to work, like I have a horrible headache at this point. I haven't thrown up yet. I have a horrible headache. I have to pull over into this Mexican restaurant and I throw up. And he's sitting right there. But my car is the Cadillac. I forgot, like, there's a security feature that if you don't put it into park, it doesn't unlock. So here I am, like, I'm like, I have to pull over, Logan. I'm going to throw up. And it's still in park. And I can't get the door open, and I throw up, and I have to hold it in my mouth. And then finally, I was able to get the lock up, open the door, and spit that out, and then threw up. And I look over, and he is balled up, like.
And that's awful. Ugh, what a terrible sound.
So that was all. Sunday was just puke. But how this is all related is so simultaneously with our church we're fasting, and you had to pick something, and I don't know, in my old age I'm like, something that actually matters, and because of 75 hard, like, I've cut out all the bad, like, I'm not drinking, I'm not eating anything bad, like, I don't watch a lot of TV. Really, the only thing I can cut out that matters to me is coffee. And I decided I'm going to fast from coffee. And turns out it was probably both things, where I was sick with some flu-like thing, and at the same time it was compounded by coffee withdrawals, which are similar to that of a drug addict coming off of heroin. It's the craziest thing if you go do any research on coffee withdrawals. So it's probably both things. But so I come out of that almost coma of, like, you know, whatever, 36 hours. I just slept after throwing up so much, slept. And I came out, and then I was like, oh, you know what? I'm going to use this time of just doing nothing. Sneakers. And so then I just started sending you thing after thing that I found that was interesting. So that's how that happened. It was,
there we go,
75 hard's fault plus coffee withdrawals. All that being said, I was starting to get a headache an hour and a half ago, and I took some Excedrin. Well, you know what's in Excedrin? Do you know this? Caffeine.
No.
I'm so wired right now. I feel like I haven't had any. I don't know if I feel great, but I'm a little bit like, whoa. Really weird. I got some hot tea and some Excedrin. Man.
Back on the train.
But that was the worst decision, like nearly to tears, deciding that I'm gonna have to start over. I'm 50 days in or something like that. And now I'm back
Yeah.
to 0. I'm day 3, 2. I'm day 2.
That is tough. That is really tough.
Anyway, how's your week? Better than that?
Yeah, a lot better actually. It's pretty good. Yeah, I feel like we're at a good spot right now. So sorry, I'm a little quiet. I'll bring the mic up closer.
Worried about it. You sound fine.
Yeah, other than the fact that I haven't posted episode 204 and I'm devastated by that. Yeah, because I was doing really good posting same week podcast. And
do you know what we're not doing good at? Posting on the Instagram. We are doing horrible at that.
We're doing terrible at that. We're also doing terrible at our guests. So we're going to have to string some guests on back-to-backs here. We're going to have to hit some back-to-backs.
It's hard doing that. And it's, you know what? I think you would agree. It's a lot harder to, number one, find people. And number two, even find people that are not fun. What's the right word? Entertaining enough to do it. I mean, it's tough. It ain't easy.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, it's also
not like the pay is great.
Right. Yeah, that's the thing. Is like, it's more like a. I feel like we think about this podcast about maybe an hour and a half before we do it.
Maybe.
And so that doesn't feel fair to somebody to be like, hey, do you want to join? We're going to start in an hour and a half. You don't have a life, right? Like, so that's what it feels like to me. It's just a
passion project for us, and for a lot of people, it's their living, right?
Right. And so, yeah, that's what it more feels like to me. Which, unfortunately, we should probably put more time into this, but here we are.
I feel like the time is they go hand in hand. I definitely feel like 2025 we should put some more effort. Not even time.
It's more like effort. I agree.
Yeah, it's more of the effort. Right.
Yeah.
But hey, it works. I'm having a good time. Like,
yeah, me too.
It doesn't
I don't know who else is,
just being entertaining.
I'm
people to listen.
Yeah, I think I was telling people tonight, and I need to share a promo, but my favorite segment that we do is sneaker profiling. And we had small group before this, which is why we're doing later. And I was like, look, shameless plug. Like, I don't do them, so I can shamelessly plug the sneaker profiling, but it is hysterical. I mean, it is legitimately so funny. So anyways, with that, I guess we'll jump
That was your
into
brainchild, right? You made that up.
Yeah, I made
You're
that
the
up.
brainchild of this whole thing. Like any of this is your brainchild. For real.
All right. Well, hey, I mean, I think it's now time to just jump into
What's inside the box?
That's my shoe in the box.
Hey, this is on my mind. I'm so sorry. Then you can jump right back in. How difficult is it to change the theme song? Like in that first, I feel like we're doing like a rebrand.
We can change it.
I feel like we're due like a theme song update.
Yeah, we can change it.
Okay. Now go ahead.
All right. Here we go. First things first, we are looking at.
We would love the feedback on how you guys like this this format of the just pulling up the IG stuff. Mason is so good at the slides, but let's be real, it takes a lot of time. Speaking of the effort part, he puts in more effort than any of us. But if you don't like this part of it, I really enjoy this. It feels like Rogan's podcast because he does a lot of screen sharing. But if you don't like this, we'd like to know if you like this slides. So go right ahead.
Yeah. All right. First up, this is one of my favorite highlights from the week. The Devin Booker Air Moab PE is hitting retail this spring. All right, Hayes, before we talk about this shoe, I'm going to count to 3, and we're going to say the one person we know that is most likely to buy this shoe.
Mm-hmm.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Landon.
Yeah.
And it's a
Alright.
great shoe. Like that's a
It
great.
is. It is a really
It
good
got
shoe.
it's got that yellow is shades of, if I'm somming, not on purpose, but the one of my favorite shoes of all time, the Newcastle Dunk. That is like that yellow, which is probably why I like this so much.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody's really excited. It's weird to me that we haven't seen a Devin Booker 2 yet. However, uh, the one is so nice that we just need all these PE colorways. This is what everybody wants. I mean, not the real weird ones, but this is a perfect one. I mean, he's been doing the Arizona outdoor pack or whatever they call it, like Sedona, all the national park pack or whatever. This kind of fits right in. It's beautiful colors. The
Yeah.
orange goes well with the Suns. The teal even goes well with the Suns All-Star game. Was that that was San Antonio, wasn't it? I'm getting them mixed up. Yeah, that was San Antonio. Either way, I mean, these are just really, really nice shoes. The colorway is beautiful with the pops of color. It's like neutrals with pops of color on it. You got the speckled sole. I really think this is what people wanted. And I really like what they've done here, and then what they did with the Ja Morant one when they had the Grizzlies scratch colorway. It just feels like these are two unique shoes that Nike has figured out will sell. Like all the Devin Booker PEs are not going to sell, but these two are. I think it's a home run from Nike to put these out, because you do get the ACG people that enjoy this shoe. It's not only this is their one shoe that crosses over from the court to
Easily
just
too.
casual. Yeah, very easy. So they need to put out more
Cat.
colorways. We don't need 95 colorways of the LeBron James 22 or whatever we're on.
Yeah.
But we need more colorways of this.
Yep.
So that's my take.
It turns out this shoe will be, like, in hindsight, one of the best signature shoes in the last decade. This shoe. The model.
Right. It would be interesting. Obviously, this is called the Book One, and it says Chapter 1 on the back, and it's got really dope details, but it's a very plain shoe. It would be really interesting as a Nike experiment. Sorry, I'm laughing at Hayes corralling his cat. It would be an interesting Nike experiment if they just decided Devin Booker's thing is he's only going to have one shoe, and we're just going to give him new colorways every single year. They won't.
There's never been anything like that.
Right. And it would just be an interesting experiment. I don't think they would do that. But it would be kind of a cool infamy thing of you've got it's like the Cortez of basketball shoes.
Yeah. The staying power. It's timeless, right?
Yeah. This could be in another world. This is like a Nike Dunk or an Air Force One. I mean, it's got all the elements of these things that we're talking about, and it's in one shoe. I will be interested to see if the Book 2, where do they go from here is what I'm saying. Everybody loves this shoe. Okay, not everybody. Most people love this shoe. And
if you're a sneakerhead purist, it's hard to hate this shoe.
Exactly. So yeah, I mean, it'd be really interesting to see what and I don't even think we've heard any rumors about it too. So very interesting. Another person we haven't heard rumors of a second edition yet, or we've heard rumors, but they've all been canceled, is Anthony Edwards. He's in the same boat. I know you weren't a huge fan of his first one.
The first one. Not
yeah.
Mid, not the love that it's getting.
Right. Yeah. You weren't as high as everybody else was on the Anthony Edwards ones, but That's one that we've seen. I've seen personally 2 different shoes that have been labeled the AE2, and they're nowhere to be seen now.
Well,
And so
here's
it
what I
begs the question.
suspect. You got All-Star Weekend coming up. Like I bet
Mm,
you a lot of these, it's just been a waiting game uh for All-Star Weekend. I suspect. I mean, that would make sense for them to do a promo. Is when, well, I mean, the All-Star game is terrible, especially now, but it would make sense that they schedule it around that when people are paying attention.
yeah, that's fair. So back in October, they said his second shoe is going to be delayed to sometime in 2025. So these are what I've seen.
Because they were getting killed in the court of
Yeah.
public opinion, and so they had to go figure it out.
This one, like you can see the tagline. So this was definitely the first one, and then obviously Adidas ditched that. You can see the on foot looks terrible. The first time I saw this picture, can you see my mouse?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the first time I saw this picture, it was for this being the AE1. It was the runner up to what was the AE1, and so now looks like they've made this the AE2, but they might have delayed that as well. So we don't fully know what we're gonna get with Anthony Edwards, but it'll be pretty interesting to see. All-Star Weekend is a good point. I mean, we could definitely start seeing stuff come up at that point. So,
Hey, going back to the Bookers.
Yep.
And I'm going to sound like a hater here, and I mean, it's not my intention, but I think it's an honest opinion. I feel like the thing that's holding this shoe back is the fact that it's Devin Booker, and now he's not in the top. Do you not think that's true? Like, it'd be interesting to know. Do Google real quick and like, where does Devin Booker rank in NBA jersey sales? I bet you he's not in the top 20, 25. Maybe. I'm guessing that's even maybe. I mean, I think he would be in the top 50.
Yeah,
Jersey sales wise, but I feel like
now he's 14th.
Okay. So he's in the top 20, which
Kevin Durant.
Okay. So, but still, if you're gonna, I feel like that sneaker would even be. He's not even the best player on his team, and his team has not played well this year. And
right,
like, he's just, he's good. He's gonna be an all-star forever. He wasn't this year. But he's gonna be that kind of guy, but he's not sexy. He likes Kobe.
Right.
Like that's what he's known for the most is like liking Kobe Bryant. And anyway, I feel like that's what is holding that shoe back. Is it's Devin Booker and not a bigger name.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it feels like the Phoenix super team was probably the worst thing to happen to Devin Booker, right?
And at least his stardom as he was going,
and basketball wise too. I mean,
he's only 25. Like, don't get me wrong, it's not
right.
a long way.
But like, you go to the finals, then you lose Chris Paul. The next year, you trade for Kevin Durant. Like, give up Mikal Bridges. Like, you haven't even been close. What were they in the play-in tournament last year or something? May have been the 6th seed, but didn't get out of the first round. Like, you went to the finals and then they just blew the team up. Why? Why would you do that? And so then they get
because they couldn't beat Luka. They couldn't beat the Mavericks. They could not get past him. He's the Suns' killer. Man, we didn't even talk about that. That was a huge disappointment. I hate the Lakers. Big Luka fan. I love Luka. Ugh.
I
throw up.
I mean, I obviously was a Kobe fan, so the Lakers were my team when Kobe was on them. Don't love LeBron. I don't hate LeBron anymore, like when he was in Miami. But yeah, LeBron and AD weren't my favorite players. They kind of soured me on the Lakers. Obviously, they got Dalton Connect this year, so somewhat back on the train. But yeah, huge Luka fan. I mean, I'm probably going to be a Lakers fan at this point again because I do love Luka.
Makes me so sick because I
But
just hate to cheer for the Lakers.
I get it. I totally understand. I was a huge Mavs fan the last few years because of Luka. It just feels like once Mark Cuban sold the team,
There's no telling all the underworkings of that of
I-
that whole deal. I heard Dwayne Wade talking about it today, where because the NBA is so down, he even had like what we call it a conspiracy theory, but it turns out a lot of the times those things are true. 80% of the time, he was like the NBA is so down they probably need something to shake it up. Luka is 6th in the NBA in jersey sales, and they think he will immediately go to number 1 in LA because of the transient nature of it, and people from the UK that come over here and or wherever Madrid, and makes a lot of sense. I will never own a Luka Lakers jersey, which sucks because I've got a Mavs jersey.
Do you?
Oh yeah,
Big jersey guy.
There's only we've talked about this, right? There's only 2 active players I have jerseys of.
Wow, Luka and Brandon Miller.
Brandon Miller.
Who's next? Ja Morant. That's tough.
Yeah, I mean it would be a Grizzlies player. Man, Jaren Jackson Jr. has turned it on, buddy.
He's been great.
But I want somebody that's Ja. I feel like at any point he could. No, I wouldn't even worry about that. But maybe so in order to get himself traded. And like, I don't want to do the jersey hopping game. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I want
you don't want to buy with your American Express so you can get a jersey refund.
You can do that.
I think American Express has like jersey insurance or something if you buy with your American Express.
No,
you got to get a credit card though.
Well,
that's a big tough one.
Our world is tough, but nonetheless, that's my issue with buying a Grizzlies jersey is that I'm more likely just to buy a former player. I'm more likely to buy a Tony Allen jersey because
that's a good one. The grindfather
hopping.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. Sorry, way too much NBA talk.
No, it's not. This is real news, man. You know my favorite untrue rumor that came out of that Luka stuff? Obviously, I mean, everybody wanted Luka to be a Mavs lifer.
Like Dirk.
And yeah, it was the perfect storyline. And I think no matter what, and I've heard people at work talking to me about that don't know anything about in the NBA, apparently don't know anything about media either. Coming up like after, I was like, yeah, it's got to be one of the worst trades in the history. Like no matter what happens this year, I mean, if the Mavs don't win the championship this year, it's the worst trade. And maybe if they do, I don't know. But they were like, well, apparently Luka was a huge partier. And I was like, he was like, that's what all the reports are saying. I was like, the Mavs like put all that out there, right? Like this is how news works. Like you lose the trade, you come out and say he didn't have a good work ethic. Like this is how, like that's just how it happens.
That's called assassination of character. You see that in the media 24/7. You can't trust anything they have to say.
I was like, also, if you want to go down that road, look up the James Harden plays bad in good strip club cities. Look up that stat, and then in the NBA hierarchy of partiers, Luka doesn't touch the top of that.
Or speaking of, do you remember that picture of Harden when he was his last game with the Rockets and he looks like he's like 40 pounds overweight? Yes. And then the next game he looks like it is almost like he was in a fat suit.
Yeah,
just so he could like stoke the fire to get out of there.
exactly.
Right.
It's like
But I don't think based on everything it doesn't sound like Luka wanted to leave Dallas at all.
I don't
Like
think
he
so
was
either.
downright mad.
Yeah,
Which
and
man, I just love Luka. That's such
I know. Like they went to the finals last year.
last year. What are you thinking? That's what was like. There's got to be now. I do understand, and I think it's a fair criticism of him. And maybe this is what, hopefully, just as a Luka fan, being around LeBron, a guy
Yes.
who spends $1 million a year on his conditioning and body, Lord willing, Luka can pick up on some of those habits, and because he does seem to gain weight real easy, and he comes in out of shape, and that can't be helping. Can't be helping his injury history and stuff like that. I agree with all that, but nonetheless, to trade that guy is especially with the haul that they got, which was relatively not even.
Yeah.
Anywho.
Yeah, I have no idea what they're thinking there. But anyways, all of that, my favorite thing to come out of that was the rumor that so Nico Harrison, that's his name, right? Mavs GM
Mm-hmm.
was at Nike when they fumbled
Yeah.
the Steph Curry stuff.
I remember reading that
And
too.
the rumor was that he was the one who put the presentation together for Steph Curry and spelled his name wrong, so he left Nike. That is not true, but it is a great. I guess it was under his time there, so you could like kind of align those together. But he was not responsible for that, unfortunately, because I did want him to be an even dumber villain than he already was.
It was a great story.
Yeah, great story. Oh, all right. Let's hop back on to some sneakers here. Hayes sent all these in, so you can thank him for your first look at the New Balance 2000. I think this was a great candidate for us to do some sneaker somming. I don't want to do profiling yet. I think we can get some profiling later, but we got two shoes we can somm. So Hayes, why don't you somm the New Balance 2000 for us?
Well, first of all, I believe your emoji back to me was a throwing up emoji, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'd imagine so.
Okay. Number one, I mean, this screams Nike Shocks, 1999.
Oh, yeah.
Majorly. Like, what great technology you've uncovered, New Balance.
It's like a Shocks and a what was that Air Max that had the visible air bubbles like all separated? I'm totally blanking.
That is the Scorpion, the newer one, except
Yeah, it's like the Scorpion, but not as swollen. Shout out to Waldo.
That is swollen. That's good. Shout out to Waldo's. Yep, my bad. I didn't realize it. Free shout out.
Free shout out.
Man, oh no, profiling. Oh no, we're somming. I mean, the biggest thing is the Shocks.
Yeah.
The upper is definitely got some 90s-esque I'll say Air Max vibes, like with the late 90s kind of the little curls here in the circle. Like that just gives me Air Max vibes. I know you're loving this. We're back to the great N. Like the best thing about this shoe is the N. It's perfect. It's right there in the center.
You're kidding.
Yes, I'm kidding. It's terrible.
This is
not a great shoe at all. There's nothing about this shoe as good as the colors. Go Heels. Like it's a decent color scheme.
This is
Shocks, man. It's just a rip off of Shocks.
It's a bad shoe.
But hey, shout out to them putting out a new silhouette. I mean, how often do we get, a new shoe? Not often.
Yeah. Okay. No comment from me. The second one we've got here is new silhouette. Asia Wilson gets the Nike A1. It's kind of a dope name with the apostrophe A1.
Is
So
her
she's
number one? Like, do you know anything about her besides that she plays in the WNBA?
I know she's like back-to-back MVP,
Is she really?
maybe 3-time. I don't know. Yes,
She's that
she is.
good.
Yeah,
I just knew the name.
she doesn't get the pub, but she is like that good.
All right.
This is the Pink Aura colorway. Dope colorway name.
First of all, the model's not horrible. It's not a
Not at all.
horrible shoe. Definitely
not
feels
horrible.
like it Kobe.
Really? I was gonna say it's not horrible, and it doesn't feel like a copycat Kobe to me.
Okay.
I can-
If I'm profiling, it's got shades in some ways of the most recent KD, and especially the low profile of it is Kobe-esque. I don't love the big eyeball thing in the middle. It reminds me a lot of the Tatums and even the Lucas. Hey, you know what? That's a thing I've thought about too immediately. It was like, maybe since he's getting bigger market now, we'll get some decent dang shoes.
I thought that too.
Immediately. I was like, man, this has got all the makings of being really good for that. Yeah, it's just notable because it's a signature sneaker.
Yeah, I agree. I think I don't think this is Sabrina level crossover. Sabrina and we've talked about Sabrina and John Morant are like practically copycat Kobe's. I don't feel like this. I feel like this is this is going to be the premier like girls basketball shoe. I mean,
even though we haven't gotten a Caitlin Clark yet, right? We haven't, right?
Right, we haven't. But I think you see like the Sabrina ones and twos are practically unisex. Like NBA players wear those. I've told you that's what I wear. I wear the ones. I actually bid on a pair of twos this past week to try to get those, but I did not win, unfortunately. But anyways, so yeah, I just think that this is like the bubble swoosh kind of thing. Is very feminine, which you want in a girl's basketball shoe. But somewhat,
I'd hope so.
In a girl's basketball shoe.
I have a girl that plays basketball, and I would love for her to like that.
Yeah,
that's my hope for my daughter.
I mean, it's got like the. I'll say if I'm somming, like KD was a good one to som, but it's like a layers of the Air Max 95.
Yes,
on it, which I think is really cool. It's very soft pinks up to the Pepto-Bismol pink on the top. I don't know the overall shape. I mean, I guess it's. I don't know. I don't look at this shoe and automatically think Kobe.
Not as much as the other ones that you.
Right. Yeah, a little bit. I guess you could see it a little bit.
But I think the low profile at this point, because he was the one that really took that to the level we're at now. That's what makes me think of that.
Yeah. The eyeball thing, it reminds me of something, but I cannot figure it out.
It's the Tatums. It's that thing. His shoes always have
They do always have something. Yeah. It feels like that the middle of the eyeball should be like a pump. Like a Reebok, like you pump up and the air comes into your arch area. Obviously,
is this supposed to be? Do you feel like it's supposed to be basically a reference to was this called the Asia 1? So it's the O in the 1. I wonder if that's what the.
I mean, like
A. Is there another? Isn't there another picture of this? No, nothing good. Hey, keep going.
No.
Hey, $110 price point. Here's the other thing: is that in 2 months from now, you can probably get this shoe for $85, and that's not going to be much.
Yeah, I think it looks good on foot. Like, I really think this is a good shoe. The logo on the tongue is very interesting. You can see it right
Look,
here.
it's better. I hate this is absolutely true. It's better than the current Zions. It's
Oh, yeah.
better than the current Lucas.
Yep.
It's better than the can go down a list of shoes that are this is better than.
Yeah. It is better than a lot of shoes that we have out today. It's interesting, and it's deserving that she got a shoe before Caitlin Clark, but it's interesting we haven't seen one of those yet. That we're talking about it. So it's probably because I think last year LeBron came out and signed Asia Wilson, and she wore his shoes, and he was like, she shouldn't, or she should have had a signature sneaker. So I'm guessing that's why she got it, but not that she didn't have merit. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
How many people are asking for an Asia Wilson shoe? I don't know, but she is good.
Fun fact, did you happen to see the push that has been happening with former Tennessee governor, what's his name? He was he's
Haslam.
trying to get a WNBA team.
Yeah, him and Peyton and Candace Parker.
Listen, I love Twitter. Like, I'm on there a lot. I don't often engage, but I'm on there a lot. I have tweeted repeatedly at these people responding and like, hey, not a great idea. How about Tennessee invest money in a company that doesn't lose millions of dollars a year? Maybe we go after a Major League Baseball team or something else that doesn't historically lose money year after year after year. What sense does that make? It doesn't make any sense at all.
I agree.
It's just math. It's not personal.
I said this when we were talking about it at work today. I said the same thing. They just added 2 teams for next year, I think. 2 more teams. So yeah, I don't think, from what I've heard from people inside that know Nashville sports, is this proposal was about 2 to 4 years too late.
Yes.
And there's no plans by the WNBA to expand. They want to expand again in the future, but there's no plans that it's going to happen. So this bid is it's a weird bid. Obviously, we have the infrastructure already to accommodate it. Like, it wouldn't be like a new stadium or anything, but
the other thing is, do you think of Nashville, Tennessee as a huge women's basketball hub? Do you think of Nashville, Tennessee as a big basketball hub? No. What you think about is occasionally having the SEC tournament here. And this is coming from a huge basketball guy. It's just not – we're a football town.
Yeah, I mean, hockey was a surprise when it came here. We're a hockey town now.
We've tried.
The WNBA thing. Yeah, it doesn't.
It'd be a huge failure. It'd be a huge.
I don't. Yeah, I don't see it working.
So here's a fun fact for you. Since again, you're talking a pretty well. Me, I'm on the down of my sports fandom, but we're pretty good big sports guys. I don't feel like we don't not know what we're talking about related to this.
Yeah.
And did you know? Do you know what the A3 is? Do you know what that is?
Yeah, is that the it's like Athletes Unlimited? Is that the thing
you knew
about?
more than me? Do you know that's downtown Nashville? 2 of the next
they started like
you
today,
knew that?
Right? Is it today they started?
I'm impressed that you even knew that. And also, do you know where it is?
Municipal Auditorium.
If that doesn't tell you everything that you need to know.
Have you seen a picture? It does not look like the Municipal Auditorium.
I have
They
not.
put up like huge video screen boards and stuff. Made it look really nice. If you're not from Nashville and you've never seen this place, it is like it should have been torn down like 15 years ago.
There's 2 like Nashville sports whatever you want to call it, icons.
Arenas.
Greer Stadium, which doesn't exist
Oh,
anymore.
yes.
And number 2 is Municipal. It's the first place that any indoor anything in Nashville was that wasn't at Vandy. And it's a dump. It is a absolute. It is a. There are high school gyms that are better than this gym. If you can go see, it's the concert
Roller derby.
venue. Listen, roller derby is the concert venue in Middle Tennessee that all the has-beens go to, and like, if you want to see, like, and this is not because I'm a hip hop guy, but if you want to see, 55-year-old boys to men, you're gonna go to Municipal Auditorium. If you want to see,
Hey, Boys to Men just won the Masked Singer, I think.
wow. If you want to see Poison, you're gonna go to Municipal Auditorium. If you want to see, the list goes on and on. If you want to go to a has-been show,
if you're looking at, think of a replica from the outside. Think of a replica of, I don't know, it's probably a 15% size-wise replica of the Superdome, but as it was getting hit by Katrina. Like, that's what it looks like. It looks like Katrina already hit the Superdome and shrunk it. And that's the Municipal Auditorium.
Yeah. And that's where the A3 tournament is happening. And I'll be shocked if there's 100 people there.
It feels like if you go, as soon as you step in the doors, you went back like 50 years in time.
Still smells like really bad popcorn and hot peanuts.
Yeah, I think the off-brand like Winterfest church thing was at Municipal Auditorium one time.
Wow. There's a throwback.
Oh.
All right. That was enough about Nashville.
Yep.
History. Don't, please, Nashville, please do us all a favor. Save the freaking money. Do something else with your money. NASCAR also might even do better. Like, revive that. Like,
hey,
something besides.
We did just get a pickleball team in Nashville.
Well, my goodness.
Owned by Dude Perfect and Dak Prescott. They're moving.
I didn't know there was pickleball teams.
Yeah.
You just taught me something.
I don't know why they have cities attached to them. Because also Nashville has their own PBR team, professional bull riding. But they don't, like, they come to Nashville as a part of the tour, but like, I don't know what makes them a Nashville team. It's not like they have home games. It's just a tour. So
yeah.
Let's see what else you wanted to talk about. Oh, Hayes wanted to talk about some Spizikes. So here's your Spizike.
The main thing I wanted to say is, were you aware that they were putting out new colorways of the Spizike? Much just a low. This is a low, right?
Yeah, that's like the new silhouette. I think the low is very new.
I was just shocked. It was more of like my shock and awe of, I had no idea this was still going on, that we were still putting this out. Yeah. For those of you that do not know, the theory behind this is cool to some, whatever. Spizike, that would be Spike Lee, big Jordan guy. He's in all the early Jordan commercials for the 3. And so basically they took elements of the 3, the 4, the 5, the 6. I think that's all, right? 3, 4, 5, 6.
Is the 9 on the heel?
Maybe.
And well, the tongue has like,
that's a 6 tongue.
The 6 tongue.
And they threw them all on this one shoe, and they call it the Spizike, named after Spike Lee. Okay. So that's what this is like a hybrid crossover of all these other. I bet, if I'm not mistaken, it's probably Spike Lee's favorite Jordan models. Okay,
it's either that or like the ones that were featured in his films or the ones he did
Yep.
commercials with. It's one of those three things.
So anyway,
Go
this is a low version of that shoe, which Mason just informed me is new, but I had no idea we were still making these. They were, I mean, when would you say these were at their peak?
2004.
2004? It's been
think it
that
was.
long ago since they came out?
Maybe not.
I wouldn't have guessed this was a 20-year-old idea. I'd have guessed 2010.
October 21st,
6.
2006.
Almost.
So we had the
20 years
3, 4, 5, 9, and 20.
Yeah, weird.
3, 4, 5, 6, 9, and 20. So it did have the 9. I don't
And
know.
this is
the
a Tinker
20.
Hatfield. I did not know that either.
Interesting.
Anyway, it's not a shoe that you should buy. It's terrible. But that's the story. And nonetheless, there's a new Spizite coming out, so I was just surprised. Oh, and then there's the 6 rings. You're right.
The 6 rings has got to be the worst one, right? Not like of the 4 biggest ones. There's definitely worse Team Jordans than 6 rings, but
I don't know. I think I like the 6 rings more than the Spizites.
oh really? Maybe. I used to play basketball with a guy that wore the 6. Was that 623 somethings?
I don't remember.
Let me see what those were. 623.17.
Oh, gross. Forgot about these guys.
That is that's a Walmart and one Jordan if I've ever seen one.
Man, you are not lying, boy. This is a horrible.
Look at that. Look at the infrared.
Okay, you profile it? No. You mean I can profile, but I will SOM this too. One of the I think it was the first Rodman. The first Dennis Rodman Nike shoe is so similar. The Indestruct, I think is what it's called. It's got it was like one of the first Nike models that had a reverse swoosh on it. But
yeah.
It's definitely that. It's basically that plus a 6. Anyway,
the Indestruct one with the yeah, that is a really bad shoe. Let me put it up here for you.
No, not that one. There's a different one. I like that one. I like that one. No,
that's
keep going.
The Indestruct. You're looking at the Air Darwin, maybe?
Maybe it's the Darwin. Yes.
Yeah.
It's like a combat
Air Darwin, I think, was the first one that had the backward swoosh. Yeah, that's an ugly shoe.
But look at it. This is I got this spot on. Look, now go back to the 620 whatever.
Where was that?
Go to different colorway.
I'll have different colorways up here. This is the most Walmart looking Jordan I've ever seen. What's with the music symbols across the tongue?
Who knows, man? Michael Jordan likes music.
I'm sure nobody has ever really cared what that means.
Much less wanted to look it up.
I gotta say, the 6 rings has the coolest storytelling. I mean, it's the 6.
It does.
Shoes.
That's why I think I like it more than the other, whatever you want to call them that we've talked about.
I just hate the patent leather on it.
Let's go to a good shoe. Let's go back to that.
Go to the Fire Reds coming out on September 13th. Shout out to my wife. That's her birthday.
Happy birthday. Do you have a preference between? Have you ever had a preference between the black tongue and the silver tongue? That's why I wanted to put these on there.
The black tongue on these feels very harsh.
Oh,
in my opinion.
I always
What?
felt like the silver tongue was just giant on the
Yeah.
other. And I don't know if it's because it's the M3, which that was always the coolest part of those shoes.
Yeah, for sure.
I love the M3 tongue. But on the white, it just looks massive. If I was
Yeah.
gonna go black tongue or silver tongue, I'm gonna go black.
Okay, I have my black metallics that you're talking about with the silver tongue. They don't have the 23 on the heel right here,
I
do
don't
they?
think so.
I don't think they
Yeah.
do. I think I'm about to sell those if I can, and the bread ones. I'm gonna go tomorrow. Do that.
Where are you going?
96 kicks in the mall.
96 kicks.
I'm gonna try.
Let me know how that goes.
All right,
If
I
they
will.
can come on the podcast.
All right, I will. Next is a new reimagined. I didn't know this was a part of the reimagined branding, but the 2025 UNC reimagined. They've done different things on the reimagined. They haven't all been aged, which is what a lot of people thought. Two of them have been aged. One of them has been, what was the Jordan 1 Royal? Was it velvetized?
Yeah.
It wasn't velvet though. It was
Something like that, though. Different.
all nubuck instead of leather, right? And then there was one that was the patent ones were technically a reimagined. There's the leather 4s were reimagined. Are we getting a different reimagined as well this year? Or is it just this one? I thought we were getting
It's
a
the
5.
fives, right?
The metallic 5s
Yeah,
are
metallic
reimagined, right?
fives. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But if this is look, I don't know if these are official. Again, it says first look, so this isn't like official photos. I hadn't even heard. To your point, I hadn't even heard that this was on the docket. This will get me off the sidelines to buy a new sneaker. This is unbelievably dope. I mean,
But
it's
yeah, I agree. I mean, these are
super
beautiful, beautiful shoes.
homer pick here for sure, but forget that. Like even if I wasn't a homer, these are just a must-have.
Yeah. The black reimagined that are up right now. What is reimagined about this? Is
Well,
it
number
just
one's the white laces.
the white laces?
That's the
Because
biggest
Jordan wore the white laces, but they weren't ever included in the shoe
Correct.
pack, right?
Outside of that, I don't know.
I know that's such a small thing, but
like icy blue soles.
those were always icy.
Yeah. It feels like that's the only thing. There's no number on the side, just like the
Yeah.
ones that we had, or the ones that I have right now. Yeah, so it's just kind of interesting. That seems like a very weird thing to just change the laces and say they're reimagined.
Yeah.
With how much we've seen change in the other ones.
Yeah.
But I get, well, never mind. All right. Yeah, I think this is one of the top shoes this year. I mean, you're going to see these everywhere.
And I hate
Everywhere.
that. At the same time, it should be. And Nike needs a big win, and this would be a giant. This is a huge, huge one. Do you think this is because look, we've gotten banned, we've gotten Chicago's feels like more often the last 5 or 6 years. This is not one they've done. I don't remember the last time we got a UNC.
Well, we did. This was 10 years ago.
10 years ago, yeah.
So
it's been a long time. So this is just going to be a huge, huge sneaker.
Yeah. All right. I think that's about it for sneaker news from this week. Man, yeah, that's all I'm seeing for right now. I didn't have a sneaker profiling this week, so I'm kind of disappointed in myself. But that was 55 minutes. That kind of flew by.
There's a lot of in the box, bro. We had a lot.
Yeah,
I told you I
we
sent
did a lot in the box. All right. Well, what do we have outside of the box then? We talked about the Luca trade. Um, hmm. More than sneakers. Anything more than sneakers for this week?
I've been sick, and so I've not had much
Yeah.
human interaction.
All right. Let's
Yeah,
just
I got nothing.
we got 4 minutes. So let's talk about our improvements for the pod for the last 4 minutes. Let's do
Wow.
that. Okay, you mentioned a new intro.
I love a new, just to spice it up, man. Call it a
Right.
rebrand, but it's just a new song. New song.
So coming up, this is year 4, right?
Wow. Is it?
So technically speaking, episode 209, which is 4 episodes from now, will be the first episode of year 5 for the Still Drippin' Happy Hour.
No crap.
Right? That's math. 52 is 1 year. 104 is year 2, is end of year 2.
You are right. Holy crap.
156, 208. So yeah, 209 would be year 5.
Can you
4 full years of podcasting.
all because you said I have a New Year's resolution to start a podcast, and we already
Yeah.
talk about sneakers all the time, so let's do it.
Yeah, man.
5 years later, you're an overnight success.
Still getting 35 to 40 views every episode.
I really feel like improvement. I've felt this way for a long time. Maybe I feel like there's a lot of instances in my life with whether it's music or I sometimes, maybe you feel this way. I almost have a fear of success because when you're doing things like this for money, the expectation changes, and I have fun with it, and I don't want to lose the fun. I get afraid of what I can't imagine. Like, my brain can't wrap around what if this was my job, and quitting my government job to do this. I can't fathom that. So I get kind of stuck behind the fear of being successful and the risk that comes with that.
Yeah. I don't ever view this as like it will be my full-time job. It'd be pretty cool, but I feel like I would be, I don't know. I feel like if there was something riding on this, I would be paralyzed by the thought of having to make a decision about, what's going to be more beneficial, this or that, in terms of money or viewers. That's just not, like, I don't want to do anything out of just the push for more viewers or more. So I do understand where you're coming from. I feel like I would get anxiety about if this were not just a fun thing.
Yeah. Part of me, I've thought about this many times, but it goes to the effort that we've been talking about. It's not even so much the time, but like to have more YouTube content where it's me and you, and we do whatever.
I agree. It would be fun. Like, it
would be
sounds
really
so
fun. It does, but the effort level and then the expectations and all that come with it. And like, you and me are not in a position that we can do that. You make time for the things that you love, and this is as much time as I have, and probably you, at least right now. Especially the phase of life that your children are in, and that's what is important. So, anyway, our effort needs to improve if we want to get this any bigger.
Yeah. So effort
are we
number
willing
1,
to do that?
New intro number 2. We need some new tunes for sure.
I got
we need
so many.
I need you to like make something game show-esque.
Okay.
Like when we go into like a trivia or something, like your
Like a quirky little
Yeah.
Okay. I'm on. I'm in.
Okay. We need diversity. We've got one old guy and one getting old guy, both white. So some
So
diversity
DEI.
in voice. No, just more people than us.
Just
Is
more
what I'm
people
saying.
than us. Oh, got it.
Volume.
Got it. More people that are consistently involved.
I put a feeler out for one guest next week, but I would love for some honest feedback from Coop. Knowing that our effort's been low, I'm sure he's going to rip us. Because even when our effort's high, he tends to rip us.
Which I appreciate.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
Any feedback, we'll take it.
Any feedback, yes.
And if it's bad, just make it funny.
Yeah. Classic. That's a classic.
Yeah.
Goodness, I've been trying to upload episode 204 to the podcast realm. It's not working. So apologies on
Maybe
last week's
your bandwidth. Bandwidth is still.
Yeah, we're rambling at this point, but I'm trying to pull up something.
No, we're talking about how to make it better. Really, if we were willing to put in more effort, it would make it better. And that's more of a personal conversation between me and you. How much effort do we want?
We can do better. We can do better than we're doing now.
I think the biggest current thing that we could change tomorrow is also our social engagement. We could do better and change that tomorrow.
I agree.
Especially with all the things that I share with you, there's no reason I can't make those posts, or whatever it is. That's probably a thing that's effort. We can change that tomorrow.
Yeah,
but I hate social media.
I know. I don't post on my
YouTube. I like YouTube.
My own social media, so I'm not. It's hard for me to post on.
Speaking of, did you? That one. I feel like I said this before. My Instagram got hacked. I'll never get it back. It's in the abyss of Instagram hell or whatever it is. So I had to start a new one, and I've been trying to do more music production related things in 2025. So that's kind of been my focus of that account. But I hate social. I am not a social guy at all.
Yeah.
I don't care what it is. Twitter's my ex is like the only thing I engage on anything pretty much.
Yeah. Effort. We need more effort. We can schedule posts. We'll get some I'll post and you do the
I don't even know how to schedule a post.
It's all right, you don't have to. Okay. But year 5 of the podcast. That's what we're gonna do. We
got 4 episodes to ramp that up, right?
Okay. Is that what we're saying? Yeah. We're gonna brainstorm 25 people that we're gonna have on in 2025. They can be repeats, but let's do it.
Okay.
All right.
Got it.
With that, we love you all.
4 minutes of free podcast. You did 4 minutes. 4 minutes of OT.
Free pod. I'm going to let this outro run for a while because you guys do not know this, but every time I clicked the end stream button, the last 8 episodes, Hayes has started rapping. So we don't know if he's going to do it. Well, this is round 2 vibes right here.
I got a fanny pack. Inside my fanny pack is plenty crack cocaine. You know I'm selling it. Immediately to the drugs. I can't even do caffeine, much less cocaine. I get that coffee, I got withdrawal in it. It's like I was on some heroin. Females that are heroes. That's what I mean. I ain't talking about the stuff you shoot up in your veins. I'm talking about stuff in your brains. Courage, bravery, fighting a dragon. That's good.
We love you all. We'll see you next week. Peace.